Okay, it's touch dry now. I'm going to leave it hanging for a little bit longer, just let it air off a bit more. It's quite orange peely, so I suspect I might have had the paint a little bit on the thick side, but that'll flatten back with some wet and dry, so I'm not too concerned. The frame's had 2 coats. There's an area I can't quite get to, which is kind of the back side of this. So I don't know quite what I'm going to do with that when it comes to colour, whether I'll just go in and touch it in by hand afterwards with a brush, I'm not sure. There's again, our favourite little area that we couldn't clean properly, and up in there, not ideal, but it's under the seat, no one's ever going to see it. So yeah, so that's okay. It's okay. We also have a garage full of painted parts, all primed. Some have had 2 coats, others just 1, depending on how nice they have to look. So that's taken a good couple of hours, I suppose. My painting technique is still shockingly bad. Despite people trying to help me, I still haven't quite mastered getting the airflow to paint ratio right. So the first lot I did was a little bit on the thick side, so the second batch of paint I mixed, I was a bit thinner, and it seemed to flow much nicer and wet the surface much nicer. So that's part of the learning curve. I'm a bit concerned about what it's going to be like when I come to put colour on. I've got direct gloss as a colour to go onto these, rather than base coat and lacquer, although I might still lacquer the tank and the side panels. Those are yet to be looked at. They can be done after the rest of the bike is sort of back on its wheels and I have a bit more time. But it'd be a good practice run on some of these parts to see how well they come out. So hopefully tomorrow we'll do some wet and drying, and possibly, if we've got time and the weather's allowing, we'll do the black bits and pieces and use that as a practice run for the coloured pieces later on. You can still see the pitting on this piece, but you know, it was shit to start with. If it looks really bad, once it's glossed up, then we can always redo it. You can see where all the pits were, but I'll flatten it back first and see how nicely it comes out. These pieces came out nicely. They're alright. Got the drag link, got the air box, which is nicely coated. That could do with a good wet and dry before going black. We've got more suspension parts. This holds the clocks. Got the headlight bowl, which is looking good. I think that should come out quite nicely. And here we have what was once probably the rustiest part on the bike, apart from the chain guard, and that's looking alright.